exclusive. Wavy. Huh?
Hey. What up, YouTube? It's me, Rizil, back on the channel with another reaction. And today, I'm going to be doing a stand-up comedy reaction of the BURR Persuasion. I said that right, BURR. Yeah, the BURR Persuasion. I'm going to be doing a what you call a reaction to, what is this thing titled? Why he never liked white women. That's what it's called. Why BURR never liked white women. I think from what I'm seeing here on the screen, I haven't watched it yet. This is my first time reaction to it. He's doing this on SNL, Saturday Night Live. Should be interesting, man. I mean, I know he married a black woman, but from the previous jokes that I've heard from him, way back in not way back in the past and shit, like every impression he's done of women he's dated has been like white woman impressions. You know, when he's imitating women, like in terms of like different relationship situations, he always seems to be like imitating white women before he got his what you call his African American wife. So hey man, without further ado, let's see why he never liked white women. What's the name of that comedian? Gary Owens. Now, if Gary Owens did something like this, I'd be like, okay, yeah. Because this guy pretty much said he's always been like down for the brown. Let's get to it.
Let's talk white women here, shall we? Let's talk white women. White women, you're amazing your accomplishments over the last few years. I got to tell you, the way white women somehow hijacked the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me.
I'm not laughing at this yet because I've already heard him tell this joke. Sometimes comedians go and repeat the same jokes that they've done already in another set. So I'm not laughing, but it is making me think of the one of the jokes Dave Chappelle did on like during like in the past when white women are trying to get, I don't know, like equality or something. They were trying to get equality for women in terms of women voting or whatever. A black woman, I forgot her name, I forgot all of their names. She was amongst their ranks and she tried to also advocate for the rights of black women who, honestly speaking, the world over always seem to get the lower end of the stick, basically. And she tried to advocate for black women in America in terms of some of these issues, but the white women over there didn't want her to, like, what you call synonymize. I hope I'm using that correctly. Uh, the woman's struggle with like what black Americans go through. They didn't want to like associate those two things. They just wanted to focus on their thing. And it started reminding me of that way. It's like they hijacking the moment for their own purposes when people are going through a way higher level of like oppression and inequality. Not saying that you're not still going through in like inequality or whatever, but there's people who are suffering more, and basically in those circumstances, white women seem to be full of shit. So yeah, interesting. Let's continue.
Trashing white guys, the nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay? I don't, but let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with the black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did.
I'm pausing it again. R.I.P. Emmett Till. R.I.P. Emmett Till. This white woman, or whatever, accused. I remember the story. She accused like a 13, 14-year-old boy of just whistling at her, and then they beat him horribly and hung him for it. They lynched him or something. I don't know what. No, they didn't lynch him. Let me remember the story properly. They beat him to death. They dragged him out of his family's house, his relative's house, and they beat him to death. A child, over some white woman saying that he just whistled at her, and it turned out that years later she revealed he never did that. She falsely accused him. The nigga right, bro. BURR right. Welcome to our side, BURR. That's trying to start a race war.
So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to? Thank you. So, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. It's the worst. The fucking worst. It's all they do is bitch, moan, and complain. I had no idea how difficult it was to be a white woman in the United States of America. Evidently, it's really difficult. Yeah, they're always bitching. Do you have any idea what it's like to be me? Well, I imagine it would be slightly less awesome than my life. What happened to you today, sweetheart, huh? Did they not chill your rosé? You know? Was the trolley not running down at the mall? What happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face, you know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in the jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to pause a lot, man. And I usually just go, yeah. One thing I've realized, maybe media is manipulating how we see things, or obviously media like manipulates how a lot of us see things. But every time I've seen someone accused, like a white man or whatever, of his white privilege or his patriarchal, or you're just a straight patriarchal white man, whatever, it's never someone of color. Or it's not never someone of color. It's hardly someone of color. It's usually some, honestly, a white woman, or I think a couple of times I've seen a couple of homosexuals do that. Just throw that in someone, in another white man's face. Yes, and it'll be like a white homosexual, where they'll just be like, "Oh, you just like a straight cis." It's what cis is, straight cis white man or whatever. It's very interesting as an African to just sit back and just watch this shit and be like, hey, okay, were you not with him back in the day? When you were running through Africa, you know.
Quit your fucking whining. Look, right out of the gate, all right? If you live in some honey boo-boo lifestyle on the Appalachian Trail, you know, your uncle just banged you in the dirt, all right, I can listen to you. No, one of my fantasies is I want to drive by like a woman's rally and just say the most sexist shit I can think of, just to watch them lose their minds. You know, just drive by real slow and be like, yeah, why don't you get back in the kitchen where you belong? Just to look in the rearview mirror, watching them flipping out on the road, spinning around like Leatherface at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, yeah, no, it's a very, I don't know, times are changing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Michelle Obama's doing an arena tour. That's another thing going on. I'm going to say that again. Michelle Obama is doing an arena tour. She's not playing comedy clubs. She's doing arenas. When did first ladies start acting like they got elected? You know? Dude, being a first lady, that's not a fucking job. Right? Look how quiet is it in here. Why is it so fucking quiet? You think that's...
I'm only thinking about American first ladies. I pay a lot of attention to America. I can't really say in terms of like African first ladies that I know, because they usually are not that vocal. You know, it's like they have impact, yes, and they do speak, but they're usually not that vocal. Like, even if I think the most vocal that I know in terms of like she was really like bossed up was Winnie Mandela, Nelson Mandela's wife. Oh no, my lap. 1 minute. You know what? Let me continue. Something happened over here. It switched off. I'm gonna switch it on, but let me continue and then I'm gonna get back to the video. The one that I know who was most vocal, honestly speaking, was Winnie Mandela, Nelson Mandela's ex-wife. I think his first wife, first or second wife. Yeah, she was his ex-wife, and she wasn't even the first lady when he became president. He had to divorce her because she was too in terms of like that time, his constituency argued with him that she was too radical. She was too like honestly, she was too against the white people. You know, she was too like, you know, we need to get them. Basically, I'm trying to summarize it in a way that isn't too offensive to both sides and still like is inclusive and like recognizing both sides' merits. Not that white people had a lot of merits in terms of what was going on then. It just is what it is. But yeah, she was too what you call abrasive and aggressive in terms of that transitional situation. So Nelson Mandela couldn't really stay with her. Like they had to. Nelson was advised to separate himself from her and her ways, basically. But yeah, that's the most vocal African first lady I know now. In terms of America, it's probably what, Ronald Reagan's wife, with that say no to drugs shit, and like, other than that, I don't know. I don't know when first ladies suddenly became like larger than life celebrities, like giving people advice and shit, and like, I don't know. And it's not like, okay, in terms of my opinions of Michelle Obama, I know, I'll get back to the reaction soon enough. In terms of my opinions of like Michelle Obama, she's a very educated woman, but I don't know what she's exactly accomplished aside from being very educated, other than being the first lady, other than marrying Barack Obama and then becoming the first lady. I don't know what else she really did that would place her in a position where people would be like overly admiring her as a celebrity and like thinking that, you know, you can just go and take advice from her or what. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not trying to insult her. That's why you can see me rambling. Like I really don't know what she's really done except being first lady. Because other than that, she's just a very educated woman. That's it. That's it. There's no like, you know, like revolutionary thing she's done except maybe become the first black first lady. Who knows? But yeah, let's get back to it.
It's a job. It's not a fucking job. Dude, if you really think it's a job, just look at her. Right? Look at Obama. When that guy got elected, he looked like he was about 41 years old. When he left office, that guy looked like he was about 73. Right? Look at Michelle. She looks younger now than she did when that dude got elected. What has she done for the last 8 years? Yeah, other than lay in a giant vat of Illuminati-level lotion, just sitting there floating. A couple hours, a shapeshifter comes in and dumps another bucket on her. She pops her head up. Hey, Bam Bam, tell Stevie Wonder to come down and play some songs tonight. Now, I found out she's doing a tour because she's doing a book tour. Yeah, she wrote a book. She wrote a book about not having a job. I gotta read that fucking book. Chapter 1, how to know if a dick tastes presidential. How to weed your way through all that local representative cock and get to the big swinging dick in the room.
And since the day all went down, I'm not afraid. It's alright.
I'll tell you right now, say what you want about Republican presidents, but they got their first ladies in line. They do. Dude, George W. was president for 8 years. 8 years. I don't even know his wife's name. What was it, Abigail or some shit? Maggie? No clue. Donald Trump's wife stands behind him like a giant meerkat, like... Bill Clinton was president, his wife never shut up. I want to do healthcare. He fucked around on her so much, he's like, all right, whatever, just do it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna check out that fucking tour. I gotta see what that's all about. You know? Who opens? Who opens on that fucking tour? Was it Oprah Winfrey's husband? You know? Does he fucking come out and talk about what it's like to walk her dogs? Dude, enthusiast, and I gotta bring him around. Look, I'm sure that there's some feminists in the crowd right now not appreciating this joke, feeling triggered, feeling like they need to fucking put out a hashtag or some shit and be brave and speak out. You know what? You're full of shit. You are. All those feminists are full of shit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, someday, there's going to be the first woman president. All right? Which means you don't even know what her fucking platform is, and you automatically cheer. It's got the same genitalia. Fucking. I'm telling you, they're not smart people. Feminists, they're not as smart as they're coming off. I'm telling you. Someday, there's gonna be... By the way, this is gonna be my last show ever, by the time this fucking thing comes out. Someday, there's gonna be the first female president, which means there's gonna be the first male...
In the darkness of the night, a flicker starts to glow. A beacon in the shadows, a light that starts to flow. Illuminating pathways where once there was despair. In the depths of obscurity, hope begins to flare. Like a flame in the wind, I ignite from within.
Guys, I basically get what he's trying to say, and I think I've seen the tail end of that set before. It just reminded me, I saw it on the shorts. This was a horrible thing to react to. I think he just mashed up a couple of things. Whoever made this video, they're probably gonna see it because I always link the info below when I post a reaction and give shout outs to the people that created the stuff that I react to. So whoever seeing this, I think they just mashed a couple of things together to instigate, oh, why does BURR not like white women, you know? And then you get thoughts like how I had in the beginning. It's like, well, he has a black wife. I wonder why he would, you know, and then you start getting thoughts like that. I think it was more of instigating than BURR actually saying why he never liked white women, you know. He's not saying he never liked white women. It's just he's very irritated by the current state of things today, when how they basically them. And again, I'm not trying to instigate or accuse anyone. I'm just saying what I've seen. It's like them and like the LGBTQ community and everything. They basically like turn their backs and turn around and accuse, you know, the white man of doing this, of doing that. But like, again, as Dave Chappelle said, like he said this in a set before. It's like you were there with them, but now you. How did Dave Chappelle even say it? As I wrap this up. You know, how did he even say it? I'm sorry, guys. It's all a mix. It's like I can't even say the joke properly, guys. I'll mess it up. I've just figured out the joke and I can't even say it properly. He'll mess it up, but it was basically he's saying that they are white until they're sorry, they're what you call they're women or they're gay or whatever until they're inconvenienced. Then they have to be white again. It's like when you are a rebel for the cause, you're not white and you're fighting against the the patriarchy or the whatever, the white patriarchy. And then as soon as things get uncomfortable in like your disadvantaged place, you're white again. That's basically what he was trying to say. So yeah, I see what BURR is talking about, but all of this is just instigating, and I'm never reacting to a mashup like this again. That's been me. I hope this hasn't been terrible, and if it has, I'm sorry. I tried. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notifications, and thank you for joining me today. I have a lot of work to do.
Passport and I got the stamp for my visa. Back to the bleachers, wag, she a diva. Last fall I was on my ass, now I G'd up. Whack nigga keep up, black when I fuck.